Today we celebrate the solemnity of the Most Holy Trinity. It is the most fundamental and essential teaching in the hierarchy of the truths of faith. Theologian Hans Urs von Balthasar, in his writings, produced a gold mine of wonderful, down-to-earth Trinitarian theology. It was not about answers, but it was about bringing forth new insights into a theology that had for centuries been inadequately articulated. Von Balthasar had a major concern that the theology of Augustine and Aquinas did not communicate the intensity of the Trinity's profound connection to us as human beings and to our human suffering. He pointed out that the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus and the Blessed Trinity is grounded in our salvation history to the point of its greatest darkness for us, death itself. The intangible triune God is manifested and exists in our lives in the form of powerful symbols. As abstract as they are at times, symbols allow us to transcend the intellectual barriers that stand in the way of our relationship with God. These symbols, in their own special way, allow the experience of God in our hearts and souls. Several years ago, as a hospice chaplain, I went to the room of a patient. He invited me in and said, "It's not going to do you any good because I'm not sure that I believe." I said, "That's okay, but may I come in and visit since I'm already here?" He expressed his anger at God for a multitude of injustices dealt to himself, and particularly to the early Christian martyrs. He spoke of God allowing unspeakable suffering and never listening to their cries for help. During one of our visits, I offered him a blessed Trinitarian cross, and he accepted it. He was well versed in Christianity, and I asked him to recall that along the way to his crucifixion, Simon of Cyrene was brought in to help carry Jesus' cross, and his cross was us. I went on to say that we all have our personal crosses to bear, and help is there, available to all of us. The Trinitarian cross that I gave him was a symbol that expresses the reality of the triune love and its powerful meaning in our lives. It depicted the Holy Spirit in the form of a dove that was placed above the figure of the Father who was supporting his beloved Son on his cross. I explained to the young man that the Holy Spirit is always present to comfort and guide us. And I emphasized that just as the Father was supporting his Son on his cross, the Father also supported him on his cross when he was sure or when he doubted. One Friday when I went for my regular visit, I could see that his health had deteriorated, and he asked for a change so that he could put the cross around his neck. On Monday, the young man was actively dying, and the nurse attempted to remove the cross from his neck. And with an emphatic and loud response, he yelled, "No!" I motioned for his mother, who had expressed concern about the salvation of her son's soul, to come out of the room with me, and I told her that by what we had just witnessed, she should no longer be concerned. He made his profession of faith within the embrace of the love of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and he peacefully passed away. The divine and triune love is ever present and is available to each of us.